Hello everybody! Thought I'd do a quick update today and show you what I've been stitching on. I've been enjoying, not gonna lie, I've really been enjoying having some extra time at home to stitch. I work at a public junior high and I've been able to work at home. We're mostly working from home now, but I do take my turn on Thursdays to go down and help answer the phone. We take turns who goes down every day. But I am enjoying the peace and quiet. No errands to run, no people I need to go visit. Just time at home. It's been very nice. My heart goes out to those who are suffering, though. That is a sad thing. All right, this is, just go through the whips quickly. I don't have any finishes this time. This is 4 Seasons, Heaven and Earth Designs, 4 Seasons. It's artwork by, I can't think of his name. And it's a stitch along with my daughter Marie, bossy daughter, and my good friend Kim. This is what it's called. And I am doing the mini version, so this is mini 4 Seasons, Heaven and Earth Designs. The artwork is by Jacek Jurka. Jacek Jurka. But it's called 4 Seasons because it has 4 seasons on it. This is where I am. In the corner of the summer. This will be the summer season. Yes, going this direction. Autumn is up here at the top. Summer has all these beautiful flowers in the front. I am impressed with, because this is the first time I've done a mini version, but I'm very impressed with the detail. I thought it would be very pixelated. But for this particular design, it's looking really good. I'm liking it. I'll let you see right up close. But it has been lots of fun to work on. Marie did a throwdown on Marco Polo a couple weeks ago, so we've been keep trying to pass each other up. I'm afraid to ask her where she is right now because I'm afraid she's ahead of me again. I have I have several pieces. I think about 7 Mania pieces that are not done yet. So I'm trying to finish as many as I can before Mania starts again. But Utopia was the one originally, and I have several that I specifically chose for a certain season and knew that I would be working on them during a certain month of the year. So this is Utopia. It looks like this. The designer is Camille Collier-Camps in France. It is available on the Jardin Privé website, or you can get it online now, I believe, at US distributors online. I ordered mine through my L&S. They were able to get it for me last year. And this is where I am. This I think there are several people working on it. I know my good friend Diana and I are working on it. But this was always my piece assigned to April. So my goal is to finish this before the end of the month. I should be able to do that. It's not a huge project. I'm finished with this page. It kind of has 4 pages. I'm finished with this page except for I need to do some of the back stitching on the little houses in the tree trunk. But oh, I'm enjoying this one. Happy that it is April and it is time to focus on it and finish it. Oh, one of my other mania pieces that was assigned to last November, but then with all, I was trying to get Christmas stockings done and my sweater, so this one got neglected. So it was the only other one assigned to a month that didn't get done. But I'm thinking maybe I could finish it by the end of the month, especially now that I'm working from home. Don't have any errands to run or people to visit. And next week is our spring break. So I won't even be working from home next week. I will just be stitching from home. This is Harvest Time by Prairie Schooler. I am just doing that top one, the village one. This, oh, the Heaven and Earth design was on 25 count, even weave. I'm doing 1 over 1. 1 strand of floss over 1 fabric thread. This is where I am so far on this one. I'm about halfway. Loving it. Love this piece. I love how the colors are turning out. It's very fall, autumn colors with lots of browns and oranges. And I chose to do it on this green fabric. This is 40 count Grassy Plains by Silk Weaver with the called for DMC 1 over 2 on this one. So hopefully that one will also be finished by the end of the month. This one is the Modern Folk Embroidery. Why do I always put that one upside down? It's their 2020 stitch along. It's called A Family Patchwork Sampler. They send a section in my email every month. I got the new part for April, part 4, but I haven't started on it yet. But I was able to finish part 3, March, the other day. This is my beautiful needle minder that Diana, my friend Diana, gave me. I am using Mrs. Sedas silks from Spain. She has an Etsy store, Mrs. Sedas. I am using her SuperNova silk. That is the orange and red color. And then the green for that middle section where the Tree of Life is Granny Smith by Belle Soie. This is 25 count even weave and it is 1 over 1. Really enjoying this piece. So fun to work on. Very, a little mindless, but not so mindless that I'm bored because I like to see the color changes in this floss, how it comes out. But, you know, no color changes because you just keep using the same color and it's just been a very relaxing stitch. The other monthly, this one is a mystery stitch along that I'm participating in, is the Linen and Threads 2020 stitch along. And I believe theirs actually is called Friends and Family. But most people just call it the Linen and Threads 2020 stitch along. Or Fox and Rabbit, that is their designer name. I was able to finish the March section. Here is what I have so far. This is on 40 count Alabaster linen. It has a very gray. It has a gray. It's an off-white, but it's a gray off-white. A cool gray. And this is the one where I could not find the dark blue floss that I wanted, so I ended up with several different colors of dark blue, and we're just going to use all of them wherever feels good. But it will mostly be Glorianna in the Navy. If you want a list of all the colors that I'm using, that will be in the description box below. And it is 1/2. Mira Sleeping Princess was also a Mania start from 2019. And I've been working on her last month and this month so that she could have some dedicated time on her before Mania came around again. I love all the bright colors in this. It's so pretty. This is 32 count water lily linen. This is what I have done. This is the princess. Her head is up here. This is her nightgown that I'm working on. And then the bedding is hanging down. It's a little peek of the mattresses right here. But this is a beautiful light green water lily color. It does not show, it shows very gray on here, and also when I take a photo of it, it shows like it's a gray taupe color, but it's not. It's a beautiful minty green color fabric, just like water lily is. And these colors are showing up gorgeous on it. I'm very happy. Looks like my needle minder is upside down. I bought this needle minder several years ago. I had this in my stash for a long time. And when I saw this needle minder, I knew I needed to buy it to go with it, even though I hadn't started it yet. So I don't know where I got it from. It was several years ago. And then I just put it in with this project because it had the beads with it and everything. But it's the perfect needle minder for it. And this is the called for DMC 2/2 on 32 count water lily. So I'll be working on that again this month on Tuesdays. This is usually my Tuesday project. I work on... Nose is running. Must be making a video. I work on several things every day, but that's kind of, it gets a couple of hours every Tuesday, along with the other things that I'm working on. Okay, Band of Roses 1845 by Cross Stitch Antiques. I usually work on this for a couple hours every Sunday. Really enjoying this piece. I mean, this is the antique sampler picture on the front. You can see how it has holes in it. She charted it from that original sampler. I can't wait to get down to this Band of Roses and then this other stuff down here, this little church. My husband and I were looking at this Sunday. It's a very interesting sampler. It looks like part of it is very well planned out. I mean, the alphabet is nicely spaced, this Band of Roses, this church, this middle medallion. There's a couple things over here. It almost looks like she had a piece that was nicely planned out and maybe not all the way done yet. And then she just started adding stuff wherever there was blank space. I don't know. This is part of the Headmistress series, so maybe she taught needlework and used this as an example in class, or maybe she was collecting different motifs on this, like, you know, they didn't have paper, or paper was expensive. So one way to, if you saw a motif on another sampler that you really loved, one way to save that was to stitch it on some fabric so that you could keep it. And maybe she stitched a whole bunch of motifs on here to show the students some different examples. I'm not sure, because all of a sudden, there's just these random motifs, it seems like, wherever there's blank space. There's several right here. over here, it just gets really crowded and it just looks like things have just been stuck in wherever they will fit. And then there's this, I mean, the alphabet was going nicely spaced. And then you have these kind of border stitches along through here. And then the last row of the alphabet. And then a smaller alphabet. And then right here, you can't see it because it's in a really light color, but there's numbers here. And then some more of this kind of border stuff. It's just a very interesting sampler. I can't wait to meet her in heaven, whoever stitched this, and talk to her and say, after I've died, and say, could you tell me about this sampler? Because I just really wondered about what your thinking was when you were stitching it. I don't know. You know, you have all those hours while you're stitching on it to just stare at it and think, what was she doing? But it is still beautiful. I love everything about it. This is 40 count maritime white linen. I'm doing 1/2. That top dark blue is not the called for DMC. It's Au Ver A Soie, number 1416. But it is almost the exact same color as the DMC. I just liked the silk has better coverage because silk is a little fatter. So I changed that top part to Au Ver A Soie. And then when I got to this part, in the antique sampler, this looks like it's the same color, but when she charted it, she made this a little bit lighter blue. And I wanted it to look as nice and dense as this upper alphabet did. So I also converted this to a silk that I think is just a little bit lighter than the DMC that's called for. But I'm okay with it. I think it's very pretty. Which is... Question is, what silk did I... Oh, right here. It's Dinky Dyes Pacific Ocean was the silk I'm using. So I finished row 3, which was my goal for March, and then started on these few little motifs right here. This one was just some random stitches that didn't really make a shape. So I changed it a little bit and made it a geometric, filled it in a little bit so it was a geometric shape. So it looks like a little flower or something. You can see on the original sampler that there's lots of holes in it and stuff missing. So there wasn't a hole right there, but I don't know. I just decided to make it a geometric shape instead of just a couple of random stitches. Obviously, this is not a true reproduction stitch because I've changed several things. I will stick to the pattern pretty closely unless there's something I really want to change, like the colors that I changed up here. But I am planning on using the called for DMC and all that band of roses and all that stuff down at the bottom. What did I do with the clip that I took off? After I make a video, I'm stitching and I'm just like, where is the whatever that I threw on the floor and that got put in a different bag, and it's a mess. Peaceable Kingdom that I'm supposed to work on every Saturday, but it only got a couple of rotations in, a couple of Saturdays in March. But I'm working on this border, did all the strawberries, now I'm working on the leaves. Thought I should stop and do the border really quick. I just have a reindeer or a deer to put in right here. There's another small animal over here. I can't remember what it is. And so this section is almost finished. I need to do the dividing. I can't do the dividing band up stitch up here, this chain stitch, until I get there's some sky that comes down kind of, and you have to put the sky on first before you can put that chain stitch over the top of it. So I still have that to do. I told you last time that this was long arm cross. It's not. It's Smyrna cross. These trees are Smyrna cross. The stem is long arm cross, and I believe the grass is long arm cross. These strawberries are Smyrna cross. These leaves are actually just straight cross stitch. How about that? This words right here is 1/1. I think this fabric is 32 count. This alphabet up here is also 1/1. And this little squirrel is 2/1 tent stitch. So lots of specialty stitches on this. This, I've told you several times, this middle section is a whole big scene. Full coverage, beautiful. Where is it? Mountains and an ocean in the distance, I think. But it is completely 1/1, full coverage on 32 count. So as soon as I finish this section here, I can start on that. Look how pretty that is. I can't wait to start on that. But I know it's going to take me a while. That's like a whole project in and of itself, right there. But I can't wait to get started on it. I believe it is, I need to look at the directions again. I'm not sure if it's 2 strands tent stitch or 1 strand tent stitch or 1 strand full cross. I'll have to look and see. And it is mostly DMC, I think, that particular section. The rest of this piece was a class kit. So it just came with all the flosses. I can tell that some of them are silks, but some of them are cotton and some of them are DMC. That is Peaceable Kingdom by Catherine Theron. And it's only available if you take the class from her. Oh, the trees are blooming here. My allergies are... I mostly have fall weed allergies. I don't have huge allergies in the spring, but apparently I have some. This is Disneyland by Nenny Designs, N-E-N-I. I got it on Etsy. I've been working across right here at the bottom of the Matterhorn. This is full coverage. It's on 40 count dwarf. Picture this plus. And I'm doing 1 strand over 2 fabric threads. But I'm stitching it like a Haid, 1 square at a time. Working across right here. It was fun to see the cave opening in the Matterhorn show up. That was fun. I usually work on that on Saturdays as well. I try and do 2 squares, 2 10 by 10 squares every Saturday. But I believe this last Saturday it got skipped. So I don't think I got 8 squares done in March. This is Stitching Shelf. I have it in Earth Designs. The original artwork is by Amy Stewart. I'm sure you've seen it. I have the regular version, but mine does not have this medallion in the middle. She has a couple different versions of this artwork. I am doing the regular version with 87 colors with the called for DMC on 25 count. Even weave, white even weave, 1/1. Full cross. I think the directions on Heaven and Earth Designs recommends maybe 2 strands. 1/1 on 25 count. Well, it'll be 2/1 on 25 count. I think they recommend 2 strands. I tried that. It was way too squishy, and it was actually pushing my... Once I got this much done, you could see that it was pushing the fabric threads out because it was so squishy. I don't know. Maybe if you're using 2 strands, you're just supposed to do a tent stitch. I don't know. I like to do full cross. So that was a Peter Pumpkin Eater was the first Heaven and Earth Designs I ever did. And I didn't get very far on it, but I restarted it again because I realized that I didn't like doing 2 threads. I like doing 1 thread better. This is where I am. Working on this window. It's a window showing some hot air balloons, and there's a lady sitting right here stitching, so I can't wait to get to her. There is a little a vase of flowers sitting on a table right here, so you can just see the top of these pink. They're very round flowers, maybe like chrysanthemums or zinnias or peonies, something like that. They're very round. But I was able to finish that strip. Very excited about that. This one I also work on 2 squares every Saturday. But I think this also got skipped last Saturday, so I don't think I got 8 squares done in March. I think I only got 6, not sure. I don't think I worked on Patchwork Sampler since last time I showed it to you. Like I said, Thursdays is that weird day where something always happens and I don't get my regular stitching done. This is Patchwork Sampler by Jan Houtman. I am just using my leftover fancy floss. I have it all in a great big bag, and I just, when I get one motif done and start on the next one, I just pick a color that I think will look good out of my bag and start the next motif. So it will truly be a patchwork sampler. I'm using all my fancy silk floss that I have left over from chatelaine projects, several other projects that I finished that called for silks. Overdyed silk. I love the overdyed. And it is 36 count white linen. 1/2. I don't like one strand on 36 count. I like it's just not quite enough coverage because these are all silks. They're doing okay. I would prefer it on 40 count, but that was the only piece of fabric I had when I started this. And 2 strands on 36 count is just too squishy. So 36 count is not my favorite fabric. I wish I had not started this on 36 count. I wish I had done it on 40 count white linen. But I'm okay with it, and it's already far enough along that I'm not going to restart it. So I'll just keep working on it. It's going to be okay. It's fine. All right, I'll show you Lost No More at the very end. I had 2 new starts, which I was not planning on and did not need. Like I need another project, like I need a hole in the head. But it's spring break next week, and I will have lots more time to stitch, even more time than I have from stitching at home. All of the freebies that the designers are putting out for this time where we are stuck at home for the COVID-19 virus. I love that the designers are all putting out freebies to kind of commemorate the occasion. And I kept thinking, no, I don't want to start something else. And then I thought, but I would like to have something to remember this time that I was home stitching during this crazy time. So I looked at all the freebies. Pam and Steph on Just Keep Stitchin' mentioned that you can see all of the freebies at the Keepsakes Facebook page. If you just search Keepsakes in Facebook, you'll get a couple of different options. One says Keepsakes Floral and Framing. Don't choose that one. Choose the one that just says Keepsakes. And on their Facebook page, they're doing a really good job of showing all of the different freebies that keep coming out from the different designers. So I looked through all of those, and I couldn't pick just one. I had to pick 2, of course. I don't know why. That I really liked, and decided to start those yesterday. So I chose Satsuma Street called Let's Stay Home. Looks like this. These greens are a very blue-green color. It calls for DMC. And I decided to change. This is really pretty, but I prefer a more yellow-green. So I changed the greens. I'm doing it for all the called for colors, except I changed the greens to more of a yellow-green. This is the colors that it will be. It calls for 4 different colors of green. So these 3 will be the colors of the house. It is 905, 906, and 907. And then the rainbow part had a different green in it, and I chose a different green from that to put in the rainbow. It'll be this one. It is 368. And this is where I am so far. Just got the little sun face done right here, and I started on this Y of stay. And I put it on this 40 count Silk Weaver rainbow fabric. If you'll remember, I used the same fabric on the Soda Stitch little house. Can't think of what this petite house that I did from Soda Stitch that I finished last year. I used the same. It looks like someone spilled Kool-Aid on it. It's got all these lovely pastel splotches on it. I like the sections that don't have so much of this yellow on them, so I'm doing it right here in this middle section. You probably can't see it, but it has just a little bit of purple and a little bit of pink in that section, but I'll be doing it right there. It's 40 count linen, so I'm using 1/2. I don't know how long it'll take me to finish it. I'll just keep working on it a little bit every day. Hopefully it will be done by the time the kids are back in regular school and I'm back to work every day. And then the other one I chose was Blue Flowers one. I love her designs. Called Let Joy Be Unconfined. Just thought that was so pretty. It calls for Dinky Dyes. I believe this is a picture. This was on the Facebook page with it. I believe this is a picture of what the Dinky Dyes look like, which I think are gorgeous. But I wanted to start it right away. I didn't want to wait for these to come. So I just pulled out my stash, found some colors that looked like they were close to what she calls for. Most of it is silk. A couple of them are gassed, Gentle Arts cotton. I am doing the letters in Au Ver A Soie 1745. It's kind of a blue-gray color. I think the rest are Glorianna silks. I will put a list of the colors I'm using in the description box below. And this is where I am so far. I started in the middle, so it's the B right in the middle of the pattern and that flower that goes up right above it. And this is the 40 count platinum. Is that what it was? That I'm doing. It's the same fabric I'm doing the Linen and Threads 2020 Stitch Along on. It's an off-white, but it's a gray, a cool gray cast off-white. So very happy with how that is turning out so far. I'll continue to work on that a little bit every day too during the stay at home. I just keep thinking how historic this is, just how unprecedented. You know, usually when you have crazy stuff going on in your country or your state, it's usually kind of local. Like your state is dealing with a tornado or a tsunami or an earthquake or a, you know, but this is, I don't remember the last time that worldwide we were all having the same crisis, the same thing happening in our lives. What a just crazy times, crazy. I keep trying to remember to write in my journal at least once a week so I can, what was in the news today, what people were concerned about today, what I was concerned about today, what were my main, it's just so I'll remember later what it was really like. Because you think you'll remember and you don't. You end up remembering just a few things. Of course, maybe your memory is better than mine. Mine is not very good, I've realized. Okay, and last is Lost No More. This has been my daily focus, daily challenge piece. Oh, let's see. Colette Kingsley and I, Colette from the Highway Stitcher, started a stitch along with this, and we named it Easter 40 Focus. Hashtag Easter 40 Focus. Because we wanted to work on it every day for the 40 days before Easter, and I've been trying to do at least 40 minutes every day. I've missed a couple of days. But this is where he is. This is a dimensions kit. I'm doing it on the kit fabric with the kit threads. It's 18 count Aida, I believe. And that's how far he is. I think he's just gorgeous. Love this. So glad I started this. I'm really enjoying working on this every day and thinking about the ways that I hear him. And on that note, as I've said before, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Some people call us the Mormons. And our general conference is this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, where we will hear from our prophet and our church leaders, which will be an unprecedented historic conference because it will all be online. There will be no audience. There will be the Tabernacle Choir won't even be there. They pre-recorded it's not the Tabernacle Choir, what is it? The Choir on Temple Square now is their new name. They pre-recorded all the musical numbers. So it will still be a fabulous conference, but the only people in the conference center as they're filming it live will just be the speakers. So just that part of it is just historic, really. And what a blessing that we can all just stay home in our houses and still hear the messages from our leaders. If you are interested in what our leaders are telling us this weekend, you can go to the website, churchofjesuschrist.org. It will be streaming live, and it will also be available later. The video will be there to watch for a long time. And if you have cable TV, the station channel BYU TV, it will be broadcast live on there. And it will also be on, if you have a smart TV. Oh, I can't remember what the channel is called. I was going to look it up and I forgot. Used to be the Mormon channel, but it's not anymore. Might be Latter-day Saint. Can't remember. Goodness sakes. Anyway, it's Saturday and Sunday. It's 4 2-hour sessions. One at 10 and one at 10 to 12 and 2 to 4 on Saturday, and then 10 to 12 and 2 to 4 on Sunday, if you're interested. And I think that's all of my whips. I don't have any finishes. I hope you all have a fabulous day. I hope you're getting some time to count your blessings and sit and enjoy the quiet and do some stitching. I know if you have kids at home, that's been really hard. I just can't even tell you how happy I am that this did not happen when I had children at home. I think I would have lost my mind. So my heart goes out to all of you who are trying to homeschool and work from home and just not lose your minds with your kids in the house all day. Take a walk. And hopefully you have a minute to get some peaceful time to yourself and stitch. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.